Don't get scared now.
The wise words of a young but resilient Kevin McCallister as he cocks his BB gun and prepares for battle, filled with booby traps and robbers known as the Wet Bandits, who legitimately terrified youngsters as they watched through their fingers, hoping that Kevin's tar, iced stairs, fireballs, paint cans, and much more were enough to thwart the intruders. This superb 1990 film was penned by 80s Brat Pack chaperone John Hughes and directed by Chris Columbus, and it quickly became a staple for many people's top 5 Christmas films of all time. Home Alone and its sequel Home Alone 2 Lost in New York captured the hearts of audiences everywhere and sparked a franchise that keeps on producing, with a spin-off film just last year in 2021 for Disney+, which had an original McCallister playing a not-so-helpful police officer. I'm Nostalgic Nick with Do You Remember? And today we're revisiting the McCallister and Company to see what everyone got into after Christmas. If you enjoy our video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a throwback. Alright, keep the change, you filthy animal. Macaulay Culkin.
Other than that, I'm in good shape.
Kevin McCallister, a rambunctious 8-year-old whose mild tantrum about the lack of cheese pizza positioned him to be left all alone, yes, at home, whilst his family hustled to the airport to make their flight. And Culkin is honestly brilliant as the quick-witted, ingenious little kid, forced to prevent his house from 2 scratchy, intimidating burglars. I'm not sure anyone but Culkin could have pulled this off. You know the line, you guys give up or are you thirsty for more? It was improvised by the young star. And the map that his character uses to set up his traps? Yep, Macaulay drew it himself. Now Culkin helms from an acting family. His father was a former Broadway actor, and his aunt is Bonnie Bedelia, who was in another Christmas classic. Well, the much debated classic, Die Hard, playing John McClane's estranged wife. Macaulay began acting at just 4, but his big break was in the 1988 film Rocket Gibraltar, his first film but one of Burt Lancaster's final. The next year, he co-starred with John Candy in a personal favorite, Uncle Buck, which was written and directed by John Hughes, opening the door for this influential Christmas classic. So influential, apparently Culkin still calls Catherine OHara Mom to this day. Culkin was the most successful child actor of the 90s, ranking second on VH1's list of the 100 greatest kid stars, right behind Justin Bieber. But I'd like to see Bieber match up against Joe Pesci. That dude is scary, and he kept it that way by avoiding Macaulay Culkin while on set, wanting the young actor to think he was mean. Macaulay went on to star in some hits, 1991's My Girl, where bees made us all cry ugly tears, and 1994's Richie Rich. But after playing the spoiled rich, he stepped away from acting, wanting a more normal life. Heck, he'd already hosted SNL, the kid needed to try relaxing for once. He continued his education at a private high school, but returned to acting in 2003 with the film Party Monster. Culkin has stated that his father, Kit, was cruel and violent because, quote, everything he tried to do in his life, I excelled at before I was 10 years old. And Macaulay had to take his parents to court to block them from controlling his trust fund, reportedly worth between 15 and 20 million. He has been estranged from his father ever since. Culkin was also one of the many boys who had a friendship with Michael Jackson. In 2005, he testified at Jackson's trial for sexual child abuse, saying he did sleep in a bed with MJ, but that he was never molested. And he completely dismisses the allegations, as well as being the godfather of Jackson's children, Paris, Prince, and Michael Jr. Today, Macaulay is 41, is in a relationship with the former Disney star Brenda Song, and the couple has one child together. He still acts on occasion, like in season 10 of American Horror Story. In 2020, on his 40th birthday, Culkin tweeted, "Hey guys, wanna feel old? I'm 40. You're welcome." Well, that tweet became the 9th most liked tweet of all time. And yes, I do feel old. Joe Pesci. Harry was the hot-headed lead thief targeting the McCallisters' home, and Pesci sure left an impression on audiences, and Culkin too. During rehearsal for the scene where Harry attempts to bite off Kevin's finger, Joe actually bit Macaulay, leaving a small scar. Joe Pesci was raised in Jersey, and as a teen, he was good friends with Frankie Valli and Tommy DeVito, even introducing the two to songwriter Bob Gaudio, helping form the Four Seasons. He also grew up around numerous wise guys, paving the way for his wise guy persona that we all love so much. Pesci has quite the relationship with Robert De Niro and director Martin Scorsese, who were so impressed with his performance in 1976's The Death Collector, they tracked him down to co-star in Raging Bull as Joey LaMotta. Pesci was on the verge of giving up acting, and this relationship peaked with 1990's Goodfellas.
What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
And as a result, Joe took home the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Some other highlights are his grit-perfecting cousin Vinny.
How do you cook your grits? You like them regular, creamy, or al dente?
And his performance in 1995's Casino. What an ending, yikes. We last saw Pesci in 2019's The Irishman, again with his pals De Niro and Scorsese. And Joe didn't let the Four Seasons have all the musical fun. In 1998, he released his second album, and first in 30 years, which was both humorous and serious. Today, Joe is in his late 70s, has been married and divorced 3 times, and although he swears like a sailor, he is reportedly one of the nicest actors in the biz. Daniel Stern. Mav is the dim-witted, tall, and awkward member of the Wet Bandits. Daniel Stern began his acting career on Broadway, including a True West production with Gary Sinise. His breakthrough role was in 1979, co-starring with Dennis Quaid in Breaking Away, and the two actors would reunite 9 years later for the film noir remake DOA. In 1982, Stern was part of the 5 college friends chatting it up in Barry Levinson's diner, and this Bethesda, Maryland-raised kid was at home playing a Baltimorean. Some other notable gigs include 1991's City Slickers, as well as voicing adult Kevin Arnold on the coming-of-age series The Wonder Years.
When you're a little kid, you're a little bit of everything.
We most recently saw Stern in the Hulu Emmy-nominated series Shrill, and today he is 64 years old and spends his free time creating bronze sculptures for private commissions, gallery exhibitions, and art fairs. John Hurd. Peter McCallister is Kevin's father, a sweater-wearing, comforting force. Added to this film because Chris Columbus had secured Culkin, Pesci, and Stern, so he was able to reach out to somewhat lesser-known favorites for the parents. His breakout role being a disturbed Vietnam War veteran Alex Cutter in Cutter's Way. And some other well-known roles include photographer George Cooper in Chud in 1984, and then as Tom Hanks' adult corporate competitor in Big. In terms of television work, he had a great role in The Sopranos as the troubled, corrupt detective working with Tony Soprano on the side. We last saw Hurd in the film Imprisoned in 2018, which was sadly a posthumous release, as John Hurd died suddenly from cardiac arrest in July of 2017. Hurd was 71 years old, and terribly, his estranged son Maxwell died just a few months before John at 22 years old. A sad ending for a class act actor. Catherine OHara. Kate is the go-getting mother who lives out the previous John Hughes film, Trains, Planes, and Automobiles, along with John Candy himself trying to get home to Kevin. And a quick John Candy nod, he completed this great polka-loving role in just 23 hours of shooting, with the majority of his lines being improvised. What a legend. OHara and Candy had previously worked together in the 70s with the Canadian series SCTV, and she earned a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Writing in 1981. And Catherine's career is just incredible. Some personal favorites include her Delia in Tim Burton's Beetlejuice, and working with Christopher Guest in projects like 2000's Best in Show. Recently, OHara has won another Emmy Award for her Moira Rose on Schitt's Creek. She puts in one heck of a performance as a former soap opera actress who is more than over the top. Today, Catherine is 67 years old and has made it clear she has no plans of stopping. Her latest project is the 2022 film Argylle, alongside Henry Cavill and Ron Howard's daughter Bryce Dallas. And I, for one, will watch anything this woman does forever. Robert's Blossom, Old Man Marley with his snow shovel, whose children spouted rumors terrified Kevin from the one man who could help. Robert's Blossom considered this one of the high points of his career, saying kids would recognize him and ask, "Aren't you the guy?" Yes, he is. Some other highlights include a farmer in 1977's Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and in 1979, as Doc Dalton in the Clint Eastwood-led Escape from Alcatraz. Blossom retired from acting in 1999 and spent his time writing poetry before passing away in 2011 at the age of 87. Devon Rattray. Buzz is Kevin's older brother with a mischievous toy chest filled with Playboys and firecrackers galore.
No clothes on anybody. Sickening.
A chest every kid dreamed of. Devon began acting at the age of 9 in the movie Where Are My Children, and some other roles you need to look out for him in. Cole in 2013's Bruce Dern-led film Nebraska, as well as playing Tinfoil Kevin in the Amazon reboot of The Tick. Yep, Tinfoil Kevin, it all comes full circle. Even more so when you watch the 2021 Disney sequel Home Sweet Home Alone, where Devon gets to be a McCallister once again. Officer McCallister, in fact. The revamp has its moments if you want to check out the 45-year-old actor once again.
Trout snapper.
Angela Goethals. Lenny was Kevin's older sister, and although she gives him a hard time about being incompetent, she does worry about Kevin when he's missing, and Angela is good at being Macaulay Culkin's sister. Her first ever credit is won in 1988's Rocket Gibraltar. Angela was actually unable to reprise her Lenny for Home Alone 2, as she was then a series regular in the Judith Light-led show fresh off of Who's the Boss, titled Phenom. Most recently, she had a season 4 arc on the show 24, and today she is 44 years old and has been married to Russell Soder since 2004. The couple has 2 children together. Kieran Culkin.
Fuller, go easy on the Pepsi.
We can't forget Fuller, the bedwetting younger cousin of Kevin's, and Macaulay's actual younger brother. Kieran has one heck of a career as well, and if you're a TV buff, you have to be watching his HBO show Succession, as the 39-year-old actor was nominated for an Emmy for his role in 2020. And there you have them, the cast of the best Christmas movie of the 1990s. Oscar nominated, I must tell you, with John Williams receiving 2 Oscar noms for his incredible score. But now it's time for you to score this film. Does it make your top 5 Christmas flicks of all time? Do you enjoy any of its sequels? Have you followed any of these actors' careers past the 90s? Get in those comments and let's discuss. As always, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more nostalgia. But from all of us here at Do You Remember, thank you very much for watching.